Well, Donald Trump has met Joe Biden at the White House for the first time since winning the election. The president-elect has been busy assembling his team to take office in the new year. For more on this, I'm joined by lawyer and Democrat strategist Nathan Daschle, who used to be the executive director of the Democratic Governors Association. Nathan, good morning to you. Welcome. Well, wouldn't you love to know what was going through both of their minds during that 2-hour meeting? It looked quite friendly and relaxed, I have to say. What did you make of that visit?
Yeah, I would love to know how those two had kind of having a meeting of the minds. I mean, a Trump administration is going to be so different from a Biden administration or a Harris administration. It's going to be as different can be. Internationally, we know that Trump is going to adhere to an America First doctrine. He's going to he's not going to fulfill the role of international engagement that the U.S. has traditionally held. He's going to retreat somewhat within his domestic confines, and he's going to impose tariffs. And the tariffs will be across the board, except for China, more directed at China. But I think we're in for a very, very different United States for the next 4 years.
Yeah, talk to me a little bit about those tariffs. Obviously, that has a flow-on impact to us here in Australia, China being our main trading partner. How do you foresee this tension, I guess, escalating between Donald Trump and his attitudes towards China?
Well, I think fundamentally, I'll give Trump credit in this regard. Fundamentally, he's very transactional, and that the tariffs are a bargaining chip to get some sort of better equality in the relationship between U.S. and China. So now that's not to say that I don't think he'll go forward with the tariffs. I do think he'll go forward with the tariffs. I think that he will, but I think that he will carve out exceptions for national security, for example, and he might modify his approach to China if China is willing to give him things. I think that the tariffs are really they are a symptom of the Trump philosophy of America first, but for a transactional president, I think they could go any way.
I mean, there are a lot of legacy issues here that Trump has sort of promised that he will change and work on. Do you believe in his ability to, say, end the conflict in the Middle East or the war in Ukraine?
Well, I don't believe that he can individually solve either of those. I do think that he can change America's involvement in both of those. In Ukraine, I think that we're going to see the U.S. abandonment of Ukraine. And I mean, that's clearly what Donald Trump campaigned on. And he's not alone. There are a lot of people in the United States who feel like it is silly to be spending so much money on another country when we have so many problems in the United States. So I understand it. I am for further engagement in Ukraine, but I understand that there is a different viewpoint, and that those are the ones who really won the election. And in the Middle East is very complicated. I don't think Donald Trump is going to be the one to solve it. I do think that he will shift even more to the side of Israel. The Democratic Party has the burden of being both pro-Israel and pro-Palestine, whereas the Republican Party is really just pro-Israel. And so I think the U.S. position will shift toward Israel, but I don't think that Donald Trump alone can solve it.
Okay. I mean, I've got to ask you, Team Trump is shaping up very quickly. Some interesting picks here, some unexpected, some not. Elon Musk has been appointed to lead the newly created Department of Government Efficiency. He wants to slash 1/3 of government spending. Of course, we know Congress itself controls the purse strings when it comes to that. But exactly how do you think Elon Musk plans to do this?
Well, I understand where Elon Musk is coming from. I mean, we do have a very large bureaucracy in the United States, and I think that going in and finding ways to cut costs and find savings is a doable accomplishment. However, as you pointed out, Congress controls the purse strings, and everything that we spend money on, there's a constituency behind. And there's a constituency that won the political battle to get that funding. So I think it's going to be a little bit harder than Elon Musk anticipates. But I do think that that having Musk involved in government, I mean, we've never had a private civilian play such an important role in an administration, and I think we're in for a wild ride.
It's going to be interesting to say the least. Nathan, thanks for your time.
Thank you so much, Holly.